But first, here with more is someone who spent a lot of time vetting Kamala Harris. He's the president of the Government Accountability Institute, Peter Schweizer. Peter, I have days and weeks, frankly months, of material that I have yet to tap into regarding Kamala Harris. You wrote a lot about Kamala Harris and things that I didn't know about. What did you find?
Yeah, the way you described what just happened, that this was essentially a coup and that Kamala Harris is beholden to party bosses and political leaders, is absolutely how she started her career, Sean. In 2003, a district attorney in San Francisco named Terrence Hallinan was investigating Mayor Willie Brown's friends. He was also investigating the priest scandal of sexual abuse in San Francisco, and that touched some very powerful institutions, including an elite prep school that involved the Gettys, Governor Jerry Brown, et cetera, their involvement with that school. So what happened? The San Francisco elite decided we're going to run somebody against Terrence Hallinan, this progressive prosecutor, and that person was Kamala Harris. They poured in the money. They poured in the organization. She became the new San Francisco district attorney. And guess what, Sean? The cases against Willie Brown's friends were dropped. Some of those were very serious cases involving fraud that affected the safety of the people of San Francisco. She dropped those cases. The Priestley abuse scandal that was taking place, she never prosecuted a single case, Sean. Of the 50 largest cities in America, San Francisco was the only one that didn't prosecute a single case, and she covered it up by deep-sixing documents that her predecessor had obtained. So Kamala Harris has always been about doing the bidding of the donors and of the political establishment. She did it in San Francisco. She did it as California Attorney General. And were she to become president, she would do it yet again.
Well, you know, I'm scrolling right now, her extremism exposed. There's never been anybody more radical to be vice president. There's never been anybody more radical to run for president. You know, we're 104 days out, 5 days out of early voting beginning in Pennsylvania. Not a lot of time for people to really get to know her. Most people don't pay a whole lot of attention to what the vice president is doing. In her case, they paid enough attention to give her the lowest approval rating of any vice president in history. As you look at and examine her record just on the issues that we're talking about, on the economy, on immigration, on law and order, her support for cash bail that resulted in millions being raised, only 4 days after they burned down the Minneapolis police precinct, they brought in $42 million, and that bail was used to release 65 people who were ultimately convicted, many of them of murder, because of the money she raised to put them back out on the streets. I don't think a lot of Americans know all of this yet. I don't think they know that she supports free health care for illegal immigrants. I don't think that they understand that she really did nothing to secure the border. You know, we have our top geopolitical foes walking in with ease, people with terror ties walking in with ease, people from countries with terror ties. We've seen rape and murder as a result of their policies. Nobody seems even willing to call her out on any of it yet, because they're all happy that, oh, she's the nominee. Oh, this is great. But they say so out of ignorance, don't they?
Yeah, they do, Sean. And look, that's why I think what you're going to be doing is so important. And that's why other people have to raise these issues, because the mainstream media is simply not going to vet Kamala Harris. It's well known her rise to power. It's well known that in 2019, she was the most left-wing U.S. senator, more than Bernie Sanders. This is all well known, but it's not going to be reported by the mainstream media. I think the other thing we have to recognize is that the big hand behind this activity, I'm convinced, is Barack Obama. He never liked Joe Biden. He didn't feel like he could influence, nudge, or control Joe Biden. I've been critical of him, but he was independent of Obama. What you're getting with Kamala Harris is somebody that has been tight with the Obamas even before Barack Obama was a United States senator. They have been very, very close. She knows that if she were to actually win in November, how much she would owe Barack Obama, and Barack Obama would be calling the shots, something that he admitted in 2020 to Stephen Colbert that he actually would like to do, which is sort of be the power behind the throne. So This has to be exposed. It has to be discussed. I think debates are important, and I think substantive questions of Kamala Harris are vital to be asked by the mainstream media, because the public is not as aware as they should be of how radical her record actually is.
All right, Peter Schweizer, we're going to continue to follow your work. We'll have you on regularly, and we will continue our vetting and doing the job of the media mob, the job that they'll never do.